Welcome back to the 801 Diaries podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Abby.
Hello, universe.
Aloha.
Aloha and good morning.
So, brief little update on what we've been doing the last 12 hours. We just flew home. We literally just got off the plane, got home, and started filming.
Yep.
So,
we've been home for like 10 minutes, truly. Like, we just got home.
So we thought we would film this fun little episode. We took the red eye home from Honolulu, and I did not get a lick of sleep. Emily got a lick, but not much more.
Barely a lick.
But we're feeling good. We're feeling feisty. Life is a highway, and we're gonna ride it all night long.
Dude, life is a highway. Life is good. Life has taken some crazy twists and turns this week, and I just think, as you can see, look at Abby.
So, I've never mentioned this before, but I've been running this last year.
I don't think you've ever mentioned it once.
I don't think I've ever mentioned it. But I've been running a little bit here and there this year.
A little bit.
In hopes of completing the 2025 Honolulu Marathon.
And guess who did?
Guess who freaking did it? Guess who freaking did it?
Go, Abby.
It was the craziest experience of my life. We can get more into it in a little bit.
Yeah, we will.
But I did, in fact... I don't know if you can tell. I've got my merch and I've got my medal.
Crazy.
And I feel like I am now an achieved woman.
You are. You have achieved something so great. And you did it so fast.
Well, we'll get into that later. But, yeah. What else has been going on?
Oof. There's not, I don't know. We've been in Hawaii for the past 10 days. So
we have, and it slayed every single moment.
It really did, but our intel on pop culture is not super high, except we are now part of pop culture.
We can't talk about it.
We can't talk about it?
No, it's part of the rules.
I thought we just can't talk about what we see on it.
I don't know. Is that kind of cringe to talk about it?
No, because it's so good.
Okay. You can talk about it just real quick. We're not going to make it a big deal.
We're not going to make it a big deal, but just so everybody knows, after about 4.5 years of being on the wait list, I finally got off the Raya wait list, and I got Abby off of it too.
Yes, this is all thanks to you guys.
All thanks to you, our beloved followers who got us popular enough to be on Raya. So... there we go. We're part of pop culture now.
Yes, so that's very exciting. But we're not going to talk about it because that's cringe.
Because we're not going to. But
yeah, so that's been exciting.
That's been our biggest thing. Joe Jonas cannot parallel park.
Joe Jonas cannot parallel park. That is correct.
And I just feel so bad for him.
I feel so bad for him. I feel like people are taking it too far.
Way too far. Like, it was funny for about 48 hours.
The original video was funny, and his original comment was funny.
And then
everything after that needs to stop. We need to be nice to Mr. Joseph.
We need to be nice to him. He let everybody have their fun, but we need to stop.
We need to stop. It's going too far.
We need to stop.
Because we love him.
We love him so
much.
Nick Jonas really... he announced a new song. He has an album coming out. I don't know if we talked about that before.
Yeah, I think we
did. We? But he also, as well as getting into TikTok, he posted a TikTok the other day, and we've talked obviously a lot about this recently because it's a big deal. But he posted a TikTok about how he said, "I've been seeing online that people are saying they haven't seen this jacket on the tour since October 27th, and I'm online, and I'm gonna wear the jacket for you guys." And he's like, and everyone in the comments was like, "Oh." Nick Jonas is actually on...
He's online.
Also, I saw a clip of their documentary from forever, like
2019.
2019. And when they were talking about why they broke up the band...
Nick broke up the band.
And when they were performing Nick and Joe...
Without Kevin? It breaks my heart every time. My heart.
I wanted to just cry for Kevin.
It makes me so sad. I love Kevin so much. And I'm so glad he's getting his moment in the spotlight because he so deserves it.
He deserves it so much. Our favorite topic in the entire universe has another update. The Louvre. They had a faulty sprinkler and ruined a bunch of ancient books or something.
Yeah, so... The press hasn't been kind to the Louvre in 2025.
Not the press. The Louvre has not been kind to the Louvre.
The Louvre has been a little silly.
Stupid.
They've been a little silly, and that's okay. But, they just ruined a bunch of ancient books, so that's kind of sad.
Ancient books and their crown jewels. Like, can we not...
Yeah, we need to get it together.
We need to really get this together. What else is going on in pop culture, Abby?
I think that's about it that I've seen, at least.
I just feel like there hasn't been much.
Quiet.
We also have not been on.
We haven't been online
as much as normal.
So,
do you want to talk about your marathon?
This marathon?
Yeah. Talk all about it.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Right here?
The Honolulu 2025. I hope that's on there.
I hope it caught. I was clinking on my medal. So the marathon was crazy.
Let's talk about it.
I've obviously been training basically all year for this.
Yes.
So it was a long time coming. I was getting really burnt out towards the end, so I was really glad it was coming. Mm-hmm. But we got to Hawaii. I did a run in Hawaii. It went well. Everything was good. I wanted to kind of get used to the humidity, the elevation, kind of get a feel for what it's like to run in Hawaii, because I've never ran in Hawaii before.
Yeah. And
everything was doing really good. The marathon was on Sunday the 14th, so a couple days ago. Yes. And we were staying at a hotel that was about 1.5 miles from the start line, and in the opposite direction, 1.5 miles from the finish line. So right in the middle. So it
was only 0.8 miles from the finish line.
Oh, 0.8 miles from the finish line.
Well, from mile 6. That's what I'll say. Because the finish line was a little bit farther than mile 6.
Something like that. It was around 1 mile. And so we were right in the middle, so we spent a good amount of time trying to figure out how to get me to the start line, because it started at 5 a.m., so that meant an early morning.
Yes. Me and Judy were team support Abby through the entire thing.
Yes,
the family came for the end, for the finish. Me and Judy we were meeting her at mile 6. Well, originally it was just going to be mile 19, or 16.
16.
Mile 16. That was our original plan, and whatever. We ended up deciding to meet her at 6, 14, and 19.
Yeah. So anyway, so they were with me. They came because we were also staying on the North Shore with the whole family. So me, Emily, and Judy went down back to Waikiki for the marathon morning. So we stayed there the night before. We got up at about 2:30, 2:45.
Yep.
Got all ready, did the whole thing, got my cute little outfit on, and I looked so cute. And then we figured out they could drive me basically to pretty darn close to the start.
Pretty darn close.
So they drove me, dropped me off, went back, and then this is all from Abby's POV. We can get to Emily's POV after, but this is Abby's POV. Yeah. So I get to the start-ish line, and they're in corrals, and I was in the blue corral, so I go up kind of where the blue is, but I was kind of in the back, because it was still like an hour away from starting. So I was like, I've got time. I'm just going to hang around. So I go over, start stretching over by this fence and this tree. When all of a sudden, people start running across the street to the mall. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why is everyone bolting out of this field into the mall? And then about half a second later, it starts torrential downpouring on me. And I was like, I got a raincoat, so I got that out, a poncho, put that on, because I didn't want to be soaked right before I start, because talk about chafe. Rough. So I put on the poncho, but that did not cover up my feet. So my feet got soaking wet.
Yeah. And
then so my socks were wet, my shoes were wet, but my outfit was just kind of damp, when it's that humid and that wet, it's just kind of damp.
Everything's damp.
And so that was kind of silly, but right before we start, the rain lets up a little bit. So it's still kind of sprinkling, but not like the torrential downpours. Yeah. The monsoon rains we were experiencing like 10 minutes before. So I walk up and I get pretty darn close to the start line.
Yeah.
I was basically right up front. And I was just hanging out there. People were walking around taking pictures. They were, they sang the national anthem. And then the fireworks go off. Everyone starts. We start running. So much fun. No big deal. I'm still in my poncho. That lasted about maybe half a mile. I took off my poncho and threw it away. But there were so many people. So the first, I would say, because of the torrential downpour, I did not take a bathroom break right at the beginning, so I had to pee pretty bad by the start line.
Yeah.
So the first 2 miles was mostly, oh no, I have to pee, and I don't want to run into anyone because there's so many people, and like we hadn't spread out at all yet. So first 2 miles were that, and then I peed real quick, and then got back into it. The next 4 we were cruising. We then at 6 saw Emily and Judy, and they were so nice. They had my gear glide because the rain kind of washed it all off. So we got that, which was so exciting. And then we kept going. And then mile 6 to mile 14, 15 were great. Yeah. I was having the time of my life. I saw them at 14.
Yep.
Everything was going great. And then around mile 15, 16, 17, right in there, the sun came out. Oh. And it became like a steam room because it was so wet and so humid. And then it was hot and sunny. Like, it was the most miserable thing in the whole entire world. And it wiped me out. I was down bad.
Yeah, you were.
And I was starting to hurt real bad. And it was miserable. I was like swimming through the air. It was the most horrific humidity I've ever experienced in my life. And Utah is so dry that I'm not used to running in any humidity at all. So to run in 100% humidity with the sun baking it, like, it was awful. So mile 16, 17 is when things really started to go downhill. And I was hurting and I was miserable. And then we saw them again at 19 and I was down bad. But you couldn't tell because I was going to be, happy Dory girl. By 20, I was like, this needs to be over. This is the longest thing I've ever done. This is miserable. And then they just kind of got worse. And then mile 24 was uphill, which I would like to have a word with the people who picked that path because holy cow, that was silly. And honestly, it actually went pretty well because it started to rain a little bit again. Yeah. So it was cloudy and it cooled off a little bit. Like, I'd much rather have it raining than heat or the sun out with the torrential downpour we had at the beginning. Yeah. It was just a whole thing. So started raining a little bit around 23, 24. 24 is uphill. Get up there. 25 to the end is basically just downhill. We were cruising, flying high, having a good time. And then I finished.
You did.
Which was the craziest thing because there was a fat minute there. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought I was going to die. But I finished. I did it in 5 hours and 31 minutes, which my goal was under 5. But considering the conditions, it sounds, from what I've heard, everyone was at least a half an hour later than what they wanted.
Like half hour, couple of hours. Like
it was bad. It was a tough race. It was a really rough race.
I don't think anybody did what they expected.
Yeah, except maybe the people who won. But it was really rough conditions. So it went well though. I finished.
Yes.
5:31, which I'm very proud of. And I am never going to do that again because holy cow. It was awful, but I really thought that Hawaii would be a great place to run a marathon because the elevation is so much lower. It's nice, like it's beautiful weather. Cold. It was in December, so it wasn't going to be like crazy heat. It wasn't going to be winter. I thought it was going to be great. I did not think the humidity would make as big of a deal as it did. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for the typhoon we experienced before, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
But it was so unbelievably humid. I really thought I was going to die.
Yeah. I wasn't running and I thought I was going to. Like, truly, I thought that was the end for me. And I wasn't even running.
So, but it was good. It was a good time. I would say if it's your first marathon, maybe don't do Honolulu because, again, the conditions were brutal. But it was a lot of fun and I did it. And I'm very proud of myself.
I'm very proud of you.
And the goal is completed. I did it.
You did it. I'm so proud. You did so good. And you had a great playlist to make it through.
Yes, Emily's playlist. If you haven't heard about the playlist, go back to other episodes. We've talked about it. Emily curated me a beautiful playlist, and it slayed every single song.
I
Straight through, slay.
worked so hard on that playlist. I even came up with a second playlist called Abby's Last Mile.
Yeah, and it slayed.
And that was great. I worked so hard on it. So
And she slayed
I'm
big
really
time.
glad that it worked out because
it was
stressing.
good. It was good.
Yeah, so basically I'll do my little recap. Basically, the night before the marathon, Judy and I were texting each other while Abby was asleep, and we were all just like in the same room, just trying to figure out last minute logistics of everything. It was crazy. We were able to walk really easy to mile 6, Judy and I. And can I just tell you, the people who win the marathon, the man who won the marathon, he was so fast.
You can't even comprehend kind of fast.
Like Judy and I left our hotel at 5:10. The marathon had been going for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. We were at, like, our hotel was at mile 5, and we were meeting Abby at mile 6. He passed us at, like, mile 5.5.
Yeah.
Like, he was going so fast.
So fast.
I still cannot fathom that.
No.
Like, I can't even sprint that fast.
No.
For 10 seconds.
Yep.
And he was just...
The whole freaking way.
The whole way. I am in awe.
It is amazing.
It was amazing. But yeah, so Judy and I met Abby at 6. It was great, super easy. Then we were going to take the bus to mile 16 because we were originally going to go 6 and 16. And everybody was saying that, like, the bus was going to be the most reliable because the city planned on it. They were prioritizing buses moving through, whatever. So we got on the bus. And we had to transfer buses, and it let us out in probably the scariest part of Honolulu that I have ever been in my entire life.
Oops.
There was a homeless man who was peeing next to us on the side. It was terrifying. So Judy and I ended up taking an Uber. And where the Uber let us out was right at, like, the 14-mile mark, or a little bit past, I think. It was so hard. The map was so confusing. It was impossible to know where we were and how we could meet along the route. It was insane. But so we ended up meeting we were like, oh, we're at 14. Amazing. So we stayed at 14. And then while Abby kept running, Judy and I went to Jack in the Box and got some French toast sticks.
Heck yes, you did.
Slapped so hard.
Heck yes, you did.
They were amazing. That was so good. Then we went back to 19 and then started the most stressful hour of my life. While Abby was dying on the course, Judy and I were in an Uber alongside, basically dying because the traffic was standstill, essentially. And we left Abby with about what we estimated was an hour and a half time to make it to the finish line of a 20-minute Uber ride. Mm-hmm. We thought we were okay. Abby was scheduled to finish at 10:31, which is exactly when she ended. And we got in the Uber, and it said 9:45, and we were like, perfect. We'll get there so early. We'll be able to chill, relax, maybe get a drink or something before. Yeah. And then we were just stuck in the Uber, and all of a sudden it ticked all the way up to 10:17. And Abby started running a little faster, and so we were...
Downhill, baby!
We were, like, really panicked. And I was like, So there's me in the back of the Uber, just crying. Just tears, because I was like... we can't miss this. I was like, we've been at every
you guys have been slaying the day away.
I was like, we can't. And I cried. And me and Judy were praying in the back of that car, in that Uber, just so much that we would be able to make it on time. And luckily, because it was later in the marathon time, the freeway had opened up again and we could drive. Because they shut down the freeway for this. Mm-hmm. The freeway was closed for this marathon. Mm-hmm. This is wild.
It was no joke.
And so the freeway opened up and we were able to get there by, I think, our Uber dropped us off at 10:10, and then we still had to walk about a half a mile from where our Uber dropped us off, and we ended up making it with about 5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, they slayed.
So we did it. It was so stressful. I was not handling it, and I was also way overstimulated from this heat.
The humidity was really no joke at this day.
It was
so bad.
It was insane. And again, as I keep telling people, I live in the Arctic. I'm not equipped for this.
Yes.
This is not it. So I was very grateful when we were there. She crossed the finish line and it was over and we could go back to the hotel with air conditioning.
Yes. They slayed the day. Judy made the cutest shirts ever. They said
She
Team
did.
Abby. They were so cute. And she made one for me that said, I am Abby.
And
I just finished my first marathon.
and
It was
I
really
killed
cute.
It was so good.
So cute. And
it was amazing, yeah.
But yeah, it was very hectic. It was very busy. It was a crazy morning.
Crazy morning.
The fact I had ran a marathon before 11 a.m. was kind of crazy.
It was insane to think about.
But
she did it.
I did it.
Great.
I've officially ran my marathon.
Yep. She's done. She never has to do it again. She never had to do it in the first place, but she
I
really
did.
never has to do it again.
I did have to do it. And we slayed still.
Yeah, no, it was good. We just kind of had a great... And then we had a great rest of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
It was...
Yeah, it was good. It was super chill.
Super chill.
It's Hawaii, so we're just relaxing.
It was a little rainier than
normal, but it's December, so makes
expected.
sense. Mm-hmm.
But it was great. It was fun, chill. Had a lot of pokey.
Yeah, lots of good food.
Lots of good food.
Lots of good seafood.
Which is right up our alley.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I think that's all we have for this week. We just want to do a quick little check-in marathon recap because...
Yeah.
You guys have been along for this marathon journey of me. And
maybe we'll have more to tell when our brains are functioning at
we did
100%.
I woke up about 20 hours ago and I haven't slept. So it's been a day, but yeah, thank you guys all for all your support on my marathon. I very much appreciate it. I did it.
She did it.
Yay.
It's amazing.
And we slay.
We slay. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.